Hi guys, it's Sam from Incredibly Sam's, and today I've made a 7-Up cake. I found this recipe in my mother-in-law's recipe collection, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it turned out pretty good. And if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. Okay, what you need is 1.5 cups of butter softened, 3 cups of sugar, 5 eggs, 3 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of lemon extract, 3/4 cups of 7-Up. Okay, you also need a large mixing bowl, an electric hand mixer, and a well-greased bun pan. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 325, and I'm going to beat the sugar and the butter together until it's creamy, and we'll be back. I'll start this very slowly. Okay, now that it's all mixed up, I'm going to add the lemon extract. It's 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to mix that in. And after it's mixed in, I'm going to add the eggs. And I'm going to mix this in slowly, just a little bit at a time. Okay, next I'm going to add the 3 cups of flour, and this is going to get a little stiff. Okay, the flour's all mixed in, and on low I'm going to add the 7-Up. I'm going to do just a little bit at a time. As you can see, it's kind of splashing and bubbling. And we'll be back after this is all mixed up. Okay, now that I have everything mixed up, I'm going to grease the bun pan, and one of the easiest ways I know is to put a sandwich bag on your hand and put some butter on the sandwich bag and just get in there and grease it. That way it all gets greased nicely and you're not covered with butter. And when you're all done, just turn it inside out and throw it away. Okay, I have whipped this for a minute on low speed, and now that it's all nice and fluffy, I'm going to be putting it in the bun pan, and I'm going to be cooking it at the 325 degrees for an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. I'll be checking this after an hour with a toothpick to see how it's doing. So we'll be back once I get this filled up. Okay, there it is, nice and full. And I'm putting it in, and like I said, I'm going to start it for 1 hour, and I'll check it and see if it needs to go in any longer. Okay, while the cake is baking, I'm going to mix the glaze together. You need 3 1/4 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. You can use fresh or this, and 1/4 cup of the 7-Up. I'm going to use the electric mixer, and I'm going to combine all of the ingredients and beat them until they're smooth. And I'm going to set it aside until the cake is done and it has cooled. And then I'll just be drizzling that over the top once it's been taken out of the pan. Okay, there's the 3 1/4 cups of powdered sugar. A teaspoon of vanilla, three tablespoons of lemon juice, and 1/4 cup of the 7-Up. And I definitely think the next time I make this, I'm going to try to make it sugar-free, because just smelling all this is amazing. Okay, and get this mixed up so that I can set it aside, and it'll be all ready for when the cake is done. Okay, it's nice and smooth, and I'm going to set that aside, and we'll be back after the cake is cooked and make sure it has I can get it out of the bundt pan and cool down before I add the glaze. Okay, I tested this with a toothpick, and you can see it came out nice and dry, and this actually took an hour and 20 minutes like the original time said it could. So I'm going to let this cool just a little tiny bit. I'm going to put a pan on, or a large plate on top, and flip it. Okay, wish me luck. That's going to stick. Alright, I'm going to flip it back over. I'm going to run a butter knife down along the sides and try and get this totally loosened up. And I'm going to do this all the way around, and we'll try to loosen it up one more time. Well, unfortunately, it stuck quite a bit. I really obviously didn't have enough shortening on the pan, or maybe I should have tried a little flour, or maybe I should have let the cake cool down a little more. But it's still going to be edible. So I'm going to put the glaze on it. And something tells me that when I slice this up for my husband's lunches and for the guys' dessert after dinner, that they're not going to mind if it's stuck anyway. I would much rather it have been really pretty, but and I'm going to let this cake cool down even more, and I'm going to add the last of the glaze, because right now it's dripping off the plate, and I sure don't want that all over my floor. So once it chills out a little more, it'll stop melting, it'll stop drizzling. This should be better, but so far I think it's pretty good. If you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.